Hi everyone, my name is Denzel Ramos. Welcome to my cooking show. We're going to be cooking some good food today, and I'll show you how I make it, how I prep it, and how I store it, okay?
So what are you cooking today?
So we're cooking today chicken afritada, which is a very Filipino meal, very feel like a good chicken stew with a lot of tomato sauce, some good veggies like carrots, potatoes, and then we're gonna add a little bit of a bok choy on the side, just as a side dish. So we have our pots and pans here, our stove, we have our ingredients here, and we have our cutting utensils and our cutting board, and of course our meat thermometer to check if the chicken is cooked, because you never know.
Yeah.
So we have our chicken here, chicken drumsticks. It can be any part of the chicken breast, the whole chicken. Make sure that this is not around any vegetables or anything, making sure it's fairly far so we don't cross-contaminate. So we have our potatoes here. You can use as much potatoes as you want, but right here I like to do a little, 2 big potatoes. We have our chili peppers here. We have our onions. You can use really any onions here. Sweet peppers, sweet bell peppers. We have our cloves of garlic. Usually I do 4, but of course it's up to your taste if you want to add any more. Just a simple dish. We got our carrots here. We got our ground black pepper, salt, some ketchup, just for a little bit of sweetness. Have some sugar here if I want to adjust sort of that sweetness. We have a big taste. Our major flavors, we have our tomato, diced tomato, sort of like a tomato sauce. And then we have a little side dish, just a little bit of bok choy, just have some nice veggies, okay? We have our oil, and then that's that. And yeah, that's
Okay. So do you know the 4 principles of food safety?
So the 4 key principles of food safety are cleaning, separating, cooking, and of course chilling. Sort of storage, chilling. Cleaning, making sure your environment's clean, your ingredients are clean, whether by you're washing them, not the chicken of course. Separating them, making sure they're not touching. Cooking them to the right temperature, to the right amount of time. And of course, chilling them, we're gonna let it rest for a bit, maybe 1 to 2 hours, and then we're gonna put it into a container, and then we can have it for leftovers for lunch or for later if we want to have some more Afritada.
Go. So can you explain about the culture of what are you cooking?
Yeah, I'll explain it. So I'm a Filipino, born in the Philippines, but predominantly raised in Canada. But my mom loved to cook, and she would always bring me to the kitchen. Hey, you're not doing anything, just help me cook. And she'd always teach me how to make different Filipino dishes like tinola, like a chicken soup, or cook rice, or cook like any stew. We love our stews. We love our soups. We're very hearty people, but we also cook a lot. And in our culture, we have a big family. We have a lot of, even though they're not blood brothers and sisters, our neighbors maybe, like our kuyas, our sisters and stuff like that. And we want to have a big family feast. And in a sense, we cook a lot more than we would eat, because maybe we want to share to someone beside us, or maybe we want to prep for tomorrow or cook for our lunches in the next days. So yeah, we cook more, and we always prep, and we always want to have everyone engaged and active cooking, because it's a good skill, in being a family, and just a good skill in general. Yeah, so we learn a lot from that. Of course, not everyone has the chance to get all the ingredients, so we do what we make do with, and we try out different things, so different cultures, different foods. Maybe we splash in a little bit of Italian or sort of seasonings in there, just to try out different things. And so in this hearty stew, this hearty chicken stew. It's going to be very delicious. A lot of vegetables, a lot of proteins in our chicken, and a lot of flavor that brings about our culture, and it'll be fun. Okay. Wash your potatoes. Make sure you do a gentle rub. I know some people like to just run the water and it's all clean, but you need to get those little bit of dirt right off. Same for the carrots. Peel. And for any other shell stuff like garlic or the onions, you also peel as well. So this is a prep. So we are try as best if you can to peel away. I know some people prefer it's easier to peel towards you, but if it's long like this, so carrot should be good. Make sure to get every side. Give it 30 seconds. Just really mixing my fingers, mixing the nails. As we should in our PSW and healthcare profession. Vegetables. We've got our bok choy here. There's a side dish. You can have it with salt or soy sauce. And the flavors of the bok choy are really, really good. Give it a good rub in there. Our sweet orange bell pepper. Also the green, you can cut the little seeds. Very salt. So we got our storage here, we got our, not our storage, or sort of our garbage here, so we can throw out any of the peels, or if we want to use it for later purposes. Here I'm cleaning the environment, make sure there's any leftover peels, and then we refresh the countertops. At the end we'll use a little bit of soap, a little bit of cleaner to get. So not now, but not now because not now because we don't want any of the chemicals contaminating our foods and our hands. Yeah, so first off we're starting with our potatoes. When I get those big chunks in there, depending on how you like it, you can have it a little smaller, like so, a little bite size for your kids or for yourself. But I like to do big chunks because I'm a big guy. Cut them into quarters, into little chunks like this. Potatoes. It's going to be a big pot, big pan. We're going to cut all this together. Side. So these would usually come a bit later because they are going to take long to cook. So we want these carrots cooked long so they're soft, and you know they're soft when you boil or you're cooking it and it put a fork into it and it comes in soft. If it comes in hard, it's still a little bit undercooked, depending if you want it a bit tougher or if you just want it full soft and it slides right in your mouth. Make sure this plate never hits and you don't cut yourself. Always teach your kids to do safe, or others to do safe knife handling. You can cut as thin as I want, so, or you can cut it as long as that. Once we're done cutting the long sides, we can cut individually into small bits, but these are fine because these are very thin carrots. Basically melt within 1 more cooking. Got a garlic already peeled, small mince, chop them finely. Don't want any garlic bits, but we love garlic. It's one of the main things in Asian and Filipino culture. You got your garlic, onions, sometimes your ginger. You also don't want to cause any choking if you have any kids around. Onions, I like to cut them down the middle, have them flat, like so. I like to leave one onion a little bit, just half quartered, but the other two I can leave it as just slices. The general one is to use yellow or white onions, but today we're cooking something different. So, put them in your bowl. Just a little spicy pepper, not too big. A lot of people in my family don't tolerate much spices, but I like to have a little bit of spice. Sweet peppers, just for more sweetness. Down, you can cut them into strips like this, but you can cut them in half once more. These are a little bit more easier to manage, and a little bit easier to bite. Our bok choy. Cut off the bottoms. You can like the bottoms, you can eat the bottoms, but they come a little bit hard to cook and a little bit tasteless at the end. But these ones, these leaves, good vitamins and good to eat, delicious. And that's everything prepped. You can stop it and then
Go.
Okay, so we're gonna cook the chicken. Make sure your chicken's not spoiled or anything. Give it a smell. If it's not any mold or smelly, it should be fine. Usually just got it in the market. I know a lot of people like to clean their chicken or wash their chicken. This should be fine. If it's a lot of juices, maybe you can rinse it off, but chicken's good. Here I have my gloves. We have our stove here. We're going to be using these two pots and pans just to cook everything. We have our controls here to turn it high. And you see these lights, it is on. And then this one controls the bottom left. We're going to be putting some oil in. We're going to cook the chicken first. Make sure, seasoning, put some salt, put some pepper, and, get it brown. But I know some people, they think it's still cooked, but you always have to check inside and cut inside or use a thermal temperature thermometer preferably, more than looking, because it might look uncooked or other pieces are uncooked. Just to use the thermometer, make sure it's 74 degrees Celsius for like 15 seconds up to a minute, and that should let you know that your chicken is cooked. And ensure that it's really poked and it's working and it's poked inside the really thickest part of the chicken. If you just poke it into the bone or into the top of the skin, it's not going to get a good reading. Okay. Olive oil or any neutral oil, as long as it doesn't burn fast, should be good. Good. I got my tongs here and ready. And the salt, not too much salt. Not salty. A bit of black pepper. Always season before you do it, so it's inside and not after. Got our fish sauce and Filipino culture. We love our fish sauce or Asian culture. It's basically just a seasoning, a little bit of a flavor enhancer. A small bit. Maybe like a teaspoon or a tablespoon. And sure, even though it looks brown, the insides aren't cooked. So, get this until it's brown. You can stop that now.
Go.
So yeah, we have this chicken here. It's cooked in, all deep in. Should be 74 for 15 seconds. At 79 degrees Celsius. Even though there's a little bit of blood around, once it'll start cooking, it'll, there you go. Even though it might look brown, sometimes the skin might burn a little bit, but that's fine. As long as the inside's cooked, the skin is all right. I'm going to set these aside, put it off, use my tongs to pick them out. The next here, nice brown, all that pepper, all the spices. I'm just cleaning up this pot that I'm using again. There's no meat bits, meat skin. Got my sponge here. Got some soap and some water. And the same pan, clean, cook the vegetables, and then we'll put our chicken in, and then our sauces and our spices. So we're just going to cook in the bok choy in a small pan, just a little bit of steamed vegetables. Put that on there on the small burner. I have the big burner here, set it to high so they get hot. A little bit hotter. Got our chicken here ready, and then we're going to put our oil in, and then our garlic, or our onions, and then our garlic. Okay. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Filming it now.
Spoon. I'm going to saute this for a couple minutes until it's soft. Doesn't look like it's going to be a big fight. We're going to put our garlic in, inside, get those going. don't want to cook them too much. Otherwise they roast and they burn. 2 chili peppers. Here I like to add a little bit of salt for the veggies. Not too much. Give a little bit of flavor. Mmm, delicious. Turn a little bit brown. Add hot peppers. Not that one. Good. So it doesn't burn and you get that flavor around. And you can put your chicken on. Alright. Smells nice.
Yeah.
And it's cooked. Still not. Put those spices in there. Then put our chicken. And a little tomato. You can use tomato sauce, tomato paste, but I like a little bit of diced tomatoes. Let's get that real flavor in. Really turn and dig in. We'll add a little bit of water to make it a little bit more soupy and try to get more of a stew than these diced tomatoes. Cover it up. Here I can put my potatoes in. It's going to take a while for that to cook. Right there, it's this one. Ooh, it's going to look so delicious. That looks good to me. So, it's boiling. Got my potatoes in there. Got my veggies in there. Use a separate spoon to get a little bit of a taste. Tomato paste. So, one of the secret ingredients is a little bit of ketchup. It's not a lot. With that sweet flavor in, that tangy flavor in, a little bit more taste. It around. A pitcher of water here. So add some more water. You can have it a bit more soupy, or if you like it thick like this, you don't have to add as much water. All that. Get those vegetables deep inside the pot. It boils, it cooks, and it's tasty. Of course, you can add as much spices as you like. I got a spice rack, and you can add whatever. You can add lemon, some hot chili, but I think we have enough flavorings for today. Into a spoon under there, and a little bit more pepper. I love pepper. Love it. And then I'll cover it up. It'll cook for another 20 minutes, and then it'll be set. So when you're done, and you're gonna leave it for a bit. It's gonna be simmering. Set it to low or medium low, or good temperature, and then take these handles off to the side and always keep watching.
So, using Canada's food guide, discuss how incorporating culture into nutrition plays a role on a person's health and wellness.
Yeah, so the Canada's food guide isn't the end-all be-all of all nutrition. Of course, if you're from a different culture, you can use different carbs, different grains, different kinds of bread, or different veggies. You didn't grow up with the carrots or the lettuce or the tomatoes in North America, or but you could do by with what vegetables you have, and it's good. Leafy vegetables as much as you can. Right, not everyone has the opportunities or the access to food as lucky as we do in Canada. But for us, we like to ingrain a lot of the different foods, grains, carbs, the dairy, the veggies, the meats, the proteins, to get in there, get your nutrients, get your vitamins, and get you growing. The kitchen's a bit of a mess. Of course, you don't want to clean with your cleansers or your chemicals in between to contaminate the food. So at the end, we're going to use our gloves and our cloth and a bit of soap and some cleaners to wipe down everything, put everything back, wipe down everything. Throw out the garbage, put them in the right place. If it's compost, if it's green vegetables or any peels, put them in the compost. Any garbage, like bags or anything, put them in the trash, and then recycling, the recycling bin, any metal cans or any big plastic containers. When we're done tasting and serving, and we're gonna store it into a container so we can have it for lunch tomorrow. Yeah. All right. So we've added a little bit of steamed rice just because it's part of our culture to have some rice with some of our dishes. Adds a lot of flavor and mixes in with the chicken Afritada. It's also a source of carbs, get us our energy, get us ready for the day. So we cool this for about 30 minutes and then we can put it straight in the fridge. You want to do it within 2 hours so it's not spoiled. Up our fridge. Usually for our lunch. Set this aside. Let it cool. Check in later. Make sure it's not dripping across any of the vegetables. Cloth. Make sure it's sprayed on the cloth and not on spray. Put on some gloves. Put on some gloves. Make sure it fits. And wipe away. So you get every bit of the dirt and particles. So we've added a little bit of steamed rice just because it's part of our culture to have some rice with some of our dishes. Adds a lot of flavor and mixes in with the chicken Afritada. It's also a source of carbs, get us our energy, get us ready for the day.